All right, hey guys, it's Miss Smith, and this is part 2 of the room interior. And here is the one I did from part 1, and I finished off this floor on mine. You do not have to have this type of floor, but I want something on your floor. I have made a blank room because that'll be easier for me to show you furniture. So I won't have to erase as much. So you can make this any type of room that you want. I just want to show you some basics for doing furniture. And so for this, to give me more room, I have taken my door and my window off and just left it blank. But I will go and I will add furniture to this room later. Okay, so let's just start with a basic cabinet. So if I just kind of had a cabinet, I would start with just a rectangle. And this takes us all the way back to the very first lessons that we had in 1 Point Perspective. If I have just a basic rectangle, I would take my corners to my vanishing point. I'm going to erase the floor line. And I'm just going to end it however wide I want to make my cabinet. This goes horizontal, so this goes horizontal. I erase what's left over. Whoops, I erased my floor. Okay, and so now I've just got a basic cabinet, TV stand, bookshelf, whatever I want to make it. Now, the easiest thing, I'm not going to lie, the easiest thing for you to do is put a line down the middle, give it some kind of handles, and voila. If you want to add shelves to it, it does get a little trickier, and I'll show you. You do not have to. One thing to consider whenever you do your furniture is that the corner, the bottom corner, the back bottom corner of your furniture, you have to make sure that it's on the floor. Let me come over here and draw one where I don't put it on the floor. Just real kind of light and kind of quick so I can erase it. This is going to appear like it's floating because it's not on the floor. So you've got to make sure that the bottom of your furniture is on the floor. It doesn't necessarily have to be back up against the wall, especially if you wanted to do a table or something out here, but it definitely has to be on the floor. It can't be on the wall. Okay, so if I wanted to do shelves in here, I'm just going to add one shelf to help save time. But I'm going to do the shelf line, go into the vanishing point. Then I'm going to come down from this corner. I'm going to skip that little spot there. I'm going to come over. This back line is going to go from the vanishing point. You know what? I'm going to give it like a little edge because it wouldn't be paper thin. There'd be a little edge to that piece of wood. There'd be a little edge to this piece of wood. This back corner would continue through. All I'm doing are vertical and horizontal lines. And then this line would come through. Okay. And that's all you would have. And so then if you wanted to put books on it or anything else, just remember that everything would go to your vanishing point. So if I had a book, if I had books on here, I'm going to do several books. So I'm going to draw one kind of big shape here. And then I'm going to erase those lines, and then I'm going to work on making it into individual. Just do a little squiggy, 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 squiggy. I'm not going to write real words. Okay. And so then I could kind of create the illusion of books. If I had some kind of box up here, again, just draw whatever's facing you is going to be the kind of basic shape, and then you're going to take it to your vanishing point. So if you wanted to turn that into some type of Bluetooth radio or something. Now, if you did something that was round, maybe you've got some type of bowl that you want to put stuff in. Things that are round are not going to go to the vanishing point. You know, so if I've got something that's round, I could just erase those. I'm just going to kind of scribble some shading in there so I don't have to erase it. And that would not go to the vanishing point. Okay, so if you wanted a pot of flowers or something like that, that stuff does not go to the vanishing point. If I wanted this to be a bedroom and I wanted to put my bed here, I like to start at the back so I can kind of see where I want the top of the bed. And this is one of those things, if I stop here, my bed's going to come straight down like that. And I don't like it when my lines do that. It's not wrong. It just kind of looks uncomfortable. This will be like a twin size bed. And I always have to play with my placement on my beds and even some of my furniture. Actually, I'm going to move that up a little bit. You know what? I am not using my vanishing point correctly. I'm eyeballing it, but I am eyeballing it wrong. I am way off. That's where that straight edge comes in handy, because sometimes you think you've got it and you don't. Erase my floor line. Okay. All right, so then I could do kind of a headboard. I wanted to. Could do a pillow on here. I could do my covers. Have them kind of folded over like my bed is made. Make this line go a little looser, just to create some roundness so it's not so stiff. Okay, so then I've got that bed shooting towards me. Now, if you had more room, you could definitely see the end of your bed, but at how big I made it, I don't think I would see the end of it. If anything is on this back wall, it's going to, for the most part, be normal. So like if I had a TV on this wall, now of course you wouldn't have a TV with your bed facing this way. I'm just showing you different things. Not that this would actually be what you would do, because that would be kind of silly to have your TV behind you. But if I had my TV on this wall, it would just be plain. If it had a poster, it doesn't have to slant like it does on these side walls. If this is a window, it would just be plain. Now, the only thing is that if it was a window and I had the window sill, I would draw that to the vanishing point. And the window pane. I wouldn't be able to see this part of the window pane because it's up above my eye level, since it's above my vanishing point. Okay. Now, if I wanted to have some type of shelf here, I would draw my shelf, take it to my vanishing point, ba-doom. Now, one thing that you need to remember or consider is at the bottom of your shelf, it has to go below the floor line, because your shelf is going to have width, whether it's a bedside table or whatever it is. It's going to have some, not width, but like depth to it. And so it can't go right next to the wall. Let me scoot this over so that we can see a side, and I think it'll make more sense. If I do my table here, and then I take it back, my table is now into my wall. That doesn't make sense. If you'll go look at anything that's up against your wall, the back is up against the wall, but the front of it comes out in front of your wall. Let me fix this, and I hope that it will show to you hard to check for understanding when teaching from a video. So now it is planted on the ground rather than being in my wall. Okay. Again, you could put shelves on it, or you could just put some doors on it. Okay. So you could create all kinds of items here. So no matter what it is that you're creating, your idea of linear perspective is you have to think of whatever is going to face you, that's what you want to draw. So let me get a new sheet of paper. I'm not going to create the room necessarily. I'm just going to draw. So if I wanted a chair, I'm going to think about what is facing me. So if this kind of upside down 4 shape is what is facing me, then I'm going to take the rest of this to my vanishing point. When you, if you'll take that leg to the vanishing point, it'll tell you how far down the opposite leg should go on the opposite side. Just kind of roughly sketching these out. So then I could have a chair. Same thing if you wanted a couch. You can structure this the way that you want. But I'm just going to draw kind of like a basic side to the couch. Give it some legs. And you would take all of your edges. And then you could kind of create your couch. So then you could put arms on your couch. You could lean back a little bit. That's kind of a straight back to it. You could put pillows. The idea is that everything that's going away from us has got to go to this vanishing point. The only thing that you can't do in 1-point perspective is draw like you're going up on the corner. So I couldn't come up on the corner here. That goes into 2-point perspective. So you have to either draw it from the front, the back, or the side. So you have to choose one of those. So even if I had the back of my couch down at the bottom of my room, like my TV is going to go on this back wall. And I want the top of my couch maybe coming up above here, like I could sit in it and watch that way. I've had students do that in the classroom. It might be that did that first one a little big. Do like 3 little sections here, like you could see the pillows. Depending on how far your angle is, you might be able to see like maybe the arms of the chair sticking out. Then maybe here, I've got some end tables. Again, I could structure those and make them blocks, like they've got shelves on them. Or I could actually get to where I can see the legs. Maybe somebody, that's kind of a big drink, but maybe somebody had a drink and they left it on the table, along with like a book. I guess that would have a leg there, wouldn't it? Okay. And so you can just kind of sketch around and kind of play with what you want to have in your room. So for part 2, what I'd like you to do is I'd like you to add furniture, and I want you to add details. And so those details can be like things on your shelves. It could be posters on your wall. Remember, they're going to also go to your vanishing point. You know, so maybe, and if they're far away, you know, you lose details when things are far away. So maybe I can't read all the words because something is written too small. Maybe you've got photographs. Maybe you have dirty laundry on your floor. Like you can have any kind of interesting details that you want. And I will add details to mine. And then in video 3, I will show you. All right, if you have any questions or want to see anything specific, just message me and let me know. You can also Google a lot of ideas to see different furniture, but I'll be happy to do separate videos if you need to see something one-on-one. All right, thanks, guys.